The beginning of the movie, two characters with the screen names ThongGirl14 and Lensman 319 exchange a string of incredibly flirty messages. The two people who met online have been corresponding for 3 weeks, and they intend to meet that day at 11 a.m. at a nearby coffee shop. ThongGirl14, whose actual name is Hayley, greets us at the coffee shop and settles down with a piece of chocolate cake. Lensman 319, also known as Jeff, then follows. To our astonishment, however, Jeff is a mature adult. Using his thumb, he nonchalantly removes the chocolate cake from her lips before licking it off to sample it. Hayley, 14, is enchanted by him because she is young and impressionable and doesn't think it strange that he is so elderly. A sign depicting a missing girl called Donna Mauer is seen on the wall while they sit and carry on their talk. Jeff, who is suave and attractive, gasses her up by claiming that she behaves and appears older than she actually is. She instantly responds that it's a school textbook when he points out the big volume she's carrying in her purse. After purchasing a new t-shirt for Hayley, Jeff, who we find out is a photographer, says that Hayley ought to serve as his model. In addition, he pledges to refrain from touching her for 4 years. In any case, the two continue their flirtatious banter, and Hayley teases him by briefly flashing him as she enters the bathroom to change. This clearly irritates Jeff, who claims that if she did it again, it would drive him insane. Hayley begs him to take her to his house, but he doesn't refuse, demonstrating that he is still blind to the warning signs. They continue on to his house, where photographer Jeff shows that he has a home studio set up. Jeff prepares drinks for them when they get there, but Hayley declines, claiming she was instructed to never drink anything she hasn't made herself. She discovers that all of Jeff's pictures on the walls appear to be of half-dressed underage females while she is in the kitchen getting him an alcoholic drink. He responds that he respects legal boundaries because the majority of his models are minors, when Hayley subtly asks him if he has slept with any of them. However, when he was much younger, he did sleep with one bag. After that, Jeff shows her the photo in the bedroom, but he seems uneasy when Hayley removes it from the wall and sees the girl's name, Janelle. She can tell he hasn't moved on from her because of his sullen appearance. In an attempt to lift his spirits as they continue to drink, Hayley suggests that they take a quick picture. Then, as he pulls out his camera, Hayley leaps onto the couch and starts posing. Even though he starts to feel lightheaded at this point, he still makes an effort to photograph her, until he eventually collapses, stating that he doesn't feel well before passing out. He is restrained to a chair when he awakens, and Hayley admits that she gave him a narcotic. He wonders why he's tied up, thinking that Hayley did it for fun, and Hayley responds solemnly that playing is finished. She firmly questions him about why a typical guy would plaster half-naked photos of young girls on his walls. When he realizes she's right, he tries to cry for assistance, but she stops him by putting bleach in his mouth. Here, we find out that Hayley meticulously prepared for this day to occur and had already ensured that none of his neighbors were home at the time. She starts by presenting her case, claiming that she has been looking into Jeff for a while by creating multiple accounts in different internet chat forums. To put it another way, he was only interested in people who were similar to Hayley's age, even though she had been speaking with him online under a variety of screen aliases. Furthermore, she thinks it's strange that a person his age would be familiar with all the obscure bands that teenagers enjoy. She acknowledges that after a while, she realized Jeff was only copying and pasting band descriptions and comments from Google. Jeff tries to explain his actions, claiming loneliness led to bad decisions, but insists he's not a pedophile. Hayley doesn't buy it and calls him one, making the tension rise. Jeff denies it again, saying loneliness clouded his judgment, but he's not attracted to kids. Hayley drags him into the bedroom, rummaging through his things to find proof of his guilt. The argument escalates as Jeff defends himself, stating he's never hurt anyone, While searching, Hayley finds letters from Jeff's ex-girlfriend Janelle, revealing their troubled relationship. Unfazed, Hayley moves to his computer, where she sees he's accessed pictures, but they're gone, adding to the suspicion. She points out the lack of pornography in his house, which she finds odd for a man living alone. Hayley starts to think Jeff is hiding something major. She searches his house desperately, with Jeff growing more anxious. She finds a gun under the bed, but ignores it, focusing on her hunt. Hayley eventually finds the hidden safe. When she demands the combination, Jeff tries to deflect, accusing her of having daddy issues and offering to call a cab if she lets him go. Hayley pretends to consider it, then mocks him, bursting into tears and laughter. Ignoring his manipulations, she cracks the safe using a date from a photo of his ex, Janelle. Inside, she finds a CD and disturbing photos of underage girls, including one of missing local girl Donna Maurer. Hayley confronts Jeff about Donna, causing panic. Jeff kicks her and grabs a gun, but when he returns, she's gone. She ambushes him from behind, choking him with saran wrap until he passes out. When Jeff wakes up, he's tied to a table with an ice pack on his private parts. Hayley accuses him of being involved in Donna's disappearance, but he denies it. Hayley threatens to castrate him and he begs her to stop, but she silences him with cleaner. He offers money and pleads for mercy, but she remains unmoved. After reapplying the ice pack, she steps outside for air, and a neighbor notices but doesn't intervene. While she's gone, Jeff struggles to free himself, but Hayley catches him upon her return. Desperate, Jeff shares a disturbing story from his past, but she dismisses it. He pleads for her to call the police, promising to turn himself in, screaming in fear until he's exhausted. Hayley uses a medical book to guide her as she pretends to castrate him, numb from the ice. She destroys what he believes are his testicles in a coffee grinder, then calmly offers pain tips and water, telling him his life will never be the same. Furious, Jeff vows revenge. Jeff checks the site and realizes he's unharmed. Hayley faked it. He grabs a knife, gets dressed, and searches for her. In the bathroom, she attacks him again, tasing him unconscious. Hayley cleans the apartment, then tases Jeff again as he crawls. She stages the scene, typing a suicide note and calling Jeff's ex, Janelle, impersonating a detective to bring her to his house. When Jeff regains consciousness, he finds himself standing on a chair in his kitchen, wrists bound with a noose tightly secured around his neck. Hayley's plan is in motion, but they're interrupted when the doorbell rings. She quickly tapes Jeff's mouth shut and answers the door, only to find a neighbor selling cookies. She politely dismisses them before returning to Jeff. Hayley offers Jeff a grim deal. If he hangs himself, she promises to destroy all evidence of his crimes, including any connection to Janelle. Jeff, still insisting on his innocence in Donna Maurer's death, pleads with her, but she remains unmoved. As she approaches, Jeff takes his chance, knocking the chair over and freeing himself. He grabs a knife and begins searching for Hayley, who flees in fear. Jeff searches frantically, even stepping into the yard. Meanwhile, Hayley returns to retrieve the noose. Unknown to Jeff, Janelle is on her way to the house. Jeff finds Hayley on the rooftop, gun in hand. She orders him to drop the knife and put the noose back around his neck, threatening to accuse him of molesting her if he doesn't. Jeff hesitates as Janelle approaches, sealing his fate. Desperate, he confesses to watching his friend Aaron kill Donna, but Hayley reveals she already knows Aaron took his own life. Jeff has no escape. Defeated, Jeff reluctantly places the noose around his neck. Hayley reassures him one last time, promising to destroy all evidence of his crimes. Jeff looks at her with a mix of fear and resignation before stepping off the ledge, ending his life. As Jeff's lifeless body hangs, Hayley calmly collects her belongings and prepares to leave. Subscribe for more videos, turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for watching.